Okay, what takes place on the real side and the and here, okay, which is here. It's all here. Okay, it's all now here. Everything is, and it's just again, it's recognition. Again, Paul said it a particular way. He used certain references, like the spiritual idea and whatever. That I'll keep going back to that so people have a comparison. It's very important to have the comparison, not just being self-convinced by ideas. There's a difference. You want to learn to see the difference. So, in other words, this is where your recognition starts to come in of what is taking place. So, life will give you objective views, and in the real side or your dream experiences, or others seeing, what you're experiencing too. Okay, so just like the Africa one of, a couple, 3 weeks ago, where Ava had written that one out, just like Sandra's experience of 50 years in the corporation, to where an individual, did the NUUU and saw me on the real side, the real awareness, and I was like over, he said like 700 meters tall, which would be like about 2,200 feet tall as being of light, and I replied that what he is seeing is what I recognize, you see. And so for me in the personal self too, I pick up on these things plus what I see for myself. I listen to others, and this is where, as we are a part of, I'll call it this universal community, those that step in wholeheartedly and sincerely, they will start to see each other. So as we take this, steps further, eventually you get to the point, as we take this a step further and further, just simply imagine, if you will. And imagination is only in creation. It is not in the real universes. Again, you cannot add anything to the perfection and reality life is. You cannot add anything. This is where you can only recognize it. It's seen and being. And so, but we'll imagine here, imagine yourself as this awesome being of light, aware, like the sun shining. And you have a friend that has the recognition too, like you. He's an awesome being. He or she is an awesome being. Well, there's no he or she, but anyhow, they are an awesome being of light, like you, shining, and you're aware. And then there's many more like that. And then as you see and experience them, it's the true seeing, not with the eyes, but the true seeing of your real awareness and recognition. You recognize each other, you see? And by the very fact you do, you support each other in that recognition, you see? And this is what the is tries to present to us as we're going through this process, that we recognize it, okay? So because then as we recognize it, it recognizes us, it goes back and forth. This is where the real support is. This is why the boys stand real with themselves, the real guides, because they recognize each other. They are in a particular position, all right? This is why I created UP, Universal Positioning. It's no longer traveling or projecting or all these things, no, soul traveling, all that. It's not from here to there, it's an isness. But if you can simply imagine that you recognize someone, you recognize the real guides as free beings of real light already, and that they recognize you, that you recognize they recognize you. You see? And that recognition is very important, and that's not a consideration with your mind. It's not a literal idea. It is a true recognition. Now, I would say that for the mothers out there this lifetime that have experienced having a child, and when the baby's first born, he's kind of, most of the time he's sleeping, his eyes are looking everywhere. But at some point, as the mother's holding the child, they go eye to eye. And all of a sudden, the child is just silent and just stares. Because there is a recognition there, you see. And the parent recognizes that the child recognizes her. You see? Now, can you do better than that? Can you see to where that you are this awesome being of light, but for the most part, you don't see yourself. The sun doesn't see itself. But this is where you see yourself and others that recognize you as you recognize them. You see? More so than just the personal self. It's not that we get rid of the personal self. No, it has its purpose for whatever it is. But that'll give you a hint as what takes place. And as you really see and be this and recognize it, guess what? It's everything. Life is.
This planet Earth needs a lot of help from all of us right now. Dean Val of NUUU, Nations United, UNUversal, UNUversity, is contacting people around this world every day to share the importance of the all-natural environment supporting all of us. Dean Val and Duane Lee Hepner.org 501c3 have created CAN, Community Action Network, to help all communities become aware of how to be self-sufficient with permaculture and food and rainforests. We are always looking for real people to step up who want to learn what life on this earth is all about. We will be leasing large portions of land to create something wonderful for all communities everywhere. Contact Val Vittles on Skype and Facebook, and through the phone number and the website DuaneTheGreatWriter.net provided in the links, to get involved with what we all can do now. The NUUU, Nations United UNUversal UNUversity, is dedicated to supporting and providing a real purpose and real awareness with the all-natural environment supporting all of us. First comes this earth, with food and rainforests, and to protect what is still here. For those who have the awareness to see what is actually taking place here, with all the natural devastation, which is also purposely planned by world controllers, you now have a real opportunity to step up and do something with those who also care about your planet Earth. Duane Lee Hepner has created the NUUU, Nations United UNUversal UNUversity, which completely entails the all-natural environment everywhere, and a real education that has real value, and that far surpasses any commonly created indoctrinating educational system that does not focus on what sustains all of us naturally. Real survival makes sense with everything here that is self-sustaining.